A very good morning to all the students of class 11th and class 12th political science. And students, welcome back to the online classes here. But today, before moving to our further topic of our chapter, I would like to take this opportunity and tell you something important relating to COVID-19. Okay, so certain important instructions have been given to you from the very beginning of this session, and from time to time we have been revising these instructions in the videos as well as in your homework portal and your worksheets. But still, I think because of this festive seasons and so many marriages and in the markets you can see there is so much of a rush, we have stopped taking those precautions very seriously now. It's not about you only, it's about us also and everyone around us. We can see in the society how people have started neglecting those important instructions which are very important to fight against this COVID-19. So I will again try to just remind you those basic and important instructions which you have to follow now onwards again. So like wearing masks, follow physical distancing, that is social distancing, maintain hand hygiene. And you know this very well, but we are not following them. Like wearing mask, how do we wear mask? We are not covering our mouth and nose properly even. So these are some of the important. We are not following social distancing, we are not maintaining our hand hygiene, and these three things are very important. These are the most important three elements, I would say, if you have to fight against COVID-19. So you have to follow these. So this I am also telling you certain important other instructions which you already know. Wear mask properly. Okay, this is the instruction, you know, wear mask, but you have to wear it properly. You don't have to just wear it for the sake that okay you have to wear it. No, this is for your precaution, this for your protection. So wear it properly, cover your nose and mouth properly. Stay at least 6 feet from others. So in the markets you can see these days there is so much of congestion and people are gathered at one place in the marriage functions and in the markets. So you have to maintain 6 feet distance from the other people. Okay, wash your hand frequently, always with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Whenever you are coming from outside or you are coming in contact with anything which is outside your home, you must wash your hands properly for at least 20 seconds with soap or hand wash. Okay, remember to not touch your face. Okay, when you are outside, it happens you are touching many things, you are traveling, you are going to the shops, you are holding various articles, but after that you don't have to touch your face. Okay, you will be using your sanitizer also to sanitize your hands from time to time, but still after that also you don't have to touch your nose, your eyes, your mouth. And so avoid touching your face when you are outside. You have to, once you have to come back, you have to wash your hands. Okay, and do not share food or drinks with others. This is the most important. When you are going to schools even, or you are going outside, you are traveling to your neighbor's place or your relatives, try to avoid having or sharing foods and drinks with the other people, because at this time period now people have started neglecting and the cases are going higher and higher with each passing day. So you have to take precautions once again, and this is the appropriate behavior which is required to fight against COVID-19. So I hope you will be following these instructions, and along with us, it is all we also have to follow all these instructions properly. Thank you. A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science. And students, as you know, we were doing the third chapter of our book political theory, and the chapter's name is equality. And we had already finished 8 parts of this chapter, and in the last 8th part we had covered the topic where I told you the difference between different political ideologies, and the ideologies which we discussed were socialism and liberalism. So I told you the differences and significance of these political ideologies in relations to bringing about equality in the society. So we had discussed that. So after that, today we are going to start a new topic, that is how can we promote equality. So what are the things which we can do to promote equality in the society. So in this we will talking about again both type of political ideologies, like socialism, or we can say capitalist system, or liberalism. It's the one on the same thing which we have discussed. So we'll see how in these systems and under these systems how can we promote equality, and what are the other things apart from these ideologies which are important to promote equality in the society. So I'm starting this topic for the day, and this is your NCERT book, and it is in very simple language. You must go through the NCERT book. This topic will be easily understandable to you. we have already noted some of the basic differences amongst the socialists and liberals. So we have seen the differences between these two ideologies. In socialist, I told you, where the all the resources are controlled by the government. Okay, all there are basically functioning of natural resources or the man-made resources are under the public. But here liberals, they believe that there should be fair and fair competition, where each individual gets the opportunities to show its capacities and capabilities and interest or skills to develop. So there is a difference between, they support the privatization of the economy. So on the we can say we have seen the difference of these two political ideologies, and on the most desirable way of achieving the goal of equality. As these two we cannot say this ideology is good or this is bad, or this is bad or this is good. We cannot say that. Both ideologies are functioning in their own way. Everyone has different functioning, different ideas, and political theory is all about the studying of various ideas and understanding them, interpretation, making interpretation of various ideologies. So here these two ideologies, they have basic aim of bringing equality, but their methods are different. While the relative merits and limitations of each of these points of views are being debated in the world over, although there are various merits and limitations in both these ideologies, and these merits and limitations are being debated around the world by various scholars, we still need to consider that what principles and policies might be considered. So we can say, apart from these two political ideologies, we also need to understand certain principles and policies which might be considered necessary for pursuing equality. So there are many important principles and policies which we must consider in a way to pursue equality in the society. Specifically, we need to consider if the use of affirmative action is just. Now this word, although we shall be taking a complete one lecture on this topic, that is affirmative actions, but let me tell you here, affirmative actions are like giving reservations or privileges or support or advantage to one particular society, section of the society, some group, or some people. So when we give some important facilities or reservations or facilities to some people or some group, it is called affirmative action, and these actions are to bring equality in the society. So we must see that considered the use of affirmative action is justified for purpose of bringing about equality. So now they are saying, specifically we need to consider if the use of are these actions to promote people, to give them facilities, it is justified to bring equality or not. This is a question which we will do in the next topic. This issue has raised a lot of controversies in recent years, and we will discuss this issue in the following section. So there has been a lot of controversies and discussions and debates on the topic that are these type of affirmative actions required to bring about or the change in the society. What, and we'll see in detail that what are those affirmative actions and how we can bring equality by these type of actions in our society. Okay, so here we will do that later on, but the next point under this topic, how can we promote equality, that is establishing formal equality. So here we will try and understand what do we mean by formal equality. Formal, you can understand by the main formal, it's something legal, something written provisions and articles in the constitution. So we need to establish formal equality. Okay, the first step towards bringing about equality is, of course, ending the formal system of inequality. If we have to bring equality in the society, the very first step which you have to remember is that we have to work in such a way where we can make, there are formal system going in the society around the world, not only in India. There are various formal systems which are promoting inequality and privileges in the society, where there is a lot of inequality and certain privileges and advantage are given to some section of the society only. So there is a lot of discrimination in the society on the basis of caste, color, language, okay, professions, even family backgrounds. So all these inequalities and privileges had to be abolished. First of all, this is the first step if we want to bring equality in the society. Moving forward with the topic, you can see there are social, economic and political inequalities all over the world. If you see any country, not only India, Okay, basically this is a problem coming up in developing countries recently, but if you see it in any country around the world, you will definitely find social, economic and political inequalities all over the world have been protected by the custom, and these inequalities have been protected by the customs legal systems that prohibit some section of the society from enjoying certain kinds of opportunities and rewards. So all these inequalities, political, social, economic inequalities, they are formally supported. There is a legal system, customs, old customs, religion customs, which have been supporting this type of inequalities in the society, which gives unequal opportunities to different peoples, unequal rewards for the same work. So there are so many inequalities which are, we can say, are a part of custom and legal system in the countries around the world. For example, they have written here, poor people were not granted the right to vote in a large number of countries. So poor people around the world, they were not given the opportunity to vote even around the world. So this was one type of inequality in the society, where few section of the society had the right to vote. In the other case, women were not allowed to take up many professions and activities. Around the world, if you see, there were many activities where women were not allowed to pursue certain professions in a particular field. They were banned. The caste system in India, now this example is coming from India, prevented people from lower caste from doing anything. Herein there was a system, as you know, we have Brahmans, we have Shudras, we have Vaishyas, okay, we have Kshatriyas. So there the work and the profession was divided, the functions were divided on the basis of the caste. So there were many lower caste, they were being stopped, we can say, from doing anything exceptional. They were forced to do the only manual work which their forefathers have been doing. So they had no choice to select their profession even. In many countries, only people from some families could occupy high position. In some countries, this is also the position where some families, which is the most wealthy and politically influenced, powerful families, who control the resources, economy, and political system of a particular country. So there have been many families also like this around the world. Moving forward now. So, after studying this, what the formal inequalities, attainment of equality, if you have to attain equality in the society, it will require that all such restrictions or privileges should be brought to an end. All these differences which we have read here, the differences in the society on the basis of social, economic, and political inequalities, all these should be required, and restrictions, they should be abolished, should be brought to an end. Since many of these systems have sanctions of law, equality requires that government and law of land should stop protecting these systems. So there are, I said, many legal system and customs have been there which have been promoting and supporting these inequalities. So now it is a time now where we should have some law in the constitution or by the government, which requires that government and the law of the land should stop, government and the law and the constitution should stop this system of inequality. Now the government and the law should not promote and support these type of inequalities in the society which have been going from many centuries or decades. This is what our constitution does. So this is only the thing, when we make amendments in the constitution, these amendments are also made to bring about the equality in the society. The constitution prohibits discrimination. If we talk about our constitution now, it prohibits discrimination on the basis of ground of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. So as you know, now we don't discriminate people on the basis of their religion, caste, gender, or place of birth or profession. Our constitution also abolished the practice of untouchability. This you have been studying from the very junior classes, class 6th even. Now our constitution has abolished this practice of untouchability. There was a lot of discrimination on the basis of caste. Most modern constitutions and democratic governments have formally accepted the principles of equality and incorporated it as identical treatment by law to all citizens. As we say, all people are equal in front of the eyes of law. It means people's law. Law is there for each and everyone. If there is a crime, there is an offense, there is a violation of any rules and regulations of the constitution, so the punishment would be same, the same treatment would be given to each and every citizen, whether it's a prime minister, it's a president, or it's a labor class or laborer of a country. So in the eyes of law, each and every citizen of our country is regarded as equal, irrespective of their caste, race, religion, gender. These things will not be considered when we talk about equality in front of the law. So these have been like changes to bringing for establishing formal equality in the society. Because if we have to bring about the equality in the society, it is very important to have various provisions, articles and system in the written constitution or through the government through various bills to be brought up in the society. Okay, so this was the all about establishing formal equality. So the next topic under the same topic, that is how can we promote equality. This is all the things we are studying about. What are the steps we can take to promote equality in the society? So the next step which is important is equality through different treatments. We can also bring equality. If you'll understand this, you will think that how can equality be brought up or can be implemented through different treatment. If we'll give different treatment to different people of different caste, color, language, it means we are talking about inequalities. But no, we'll try to understand what do we mean by equality through different treatments, because equality can also be promoted and established if we give different type of treatment to different sections of the people or different groups. We'll see and understand here. It will be very much clear to you after understanding this. However, as we noted earlier, formal equality or equality before the law is necessary but not sufficient. So here we have studied under this topic establishing formal equality. We understood that it is very important for us. If we have to bring formal equality, the first step, as we read, is to eradicate and remove inequalities in the society, that are the social, economic and political inequalities को remove करना. So it is not sufficient to bringing that law is necessary and everyone is treated equally in front of the law and formal inequality. This is not enough. This is not sufficient. One more thing which can be done is to realize the principles of equality. Sometimes it is necessary to treat people differently in order to ensure that they can enjoy equal rights. Sometimes it becomes very important in the society when we live in the community, that if we treat some people differently in different order, we can bring about equal rights. We can promote equality in the society. For example, certain differences between people may have to be taken into account for this purpose. So we'll have to take into account various differences amongst the people, that why these differences inequalities are coming up. For example, for instance, disabled people may justifiably demand special ramps in the public spaces so that they get an equal chance to enter public buildings. So if we see any government buildings or public buildings, we can say there are various ramps made for these people who are disabled, maybe physically with their hearing problem or any type of disability. They are provided these ramps where they can travel and enter the public buildings easily. So in this case, we as a normal people, we cannot say that we are being treated differently. It is that they are being treated differently. Some special treatment and privileges are given to them so that they can also enjoy the same rights which as common people are enjoying. So there are always requirement in the society where some group is given some privileges so that they can also have the equal opportunity in the society. Okay, so these are the small things, but it is very important. Like we give reservations to various social groups, whether ST, SC, OBCs, or to women's. So these are the sections which have been lacking behind. To promote them, to support them, these type of differential treatments have been very important. In the same way, if you see this, or women working in the call center at night may need special protection during the journey to and from the centers so that their equal right to work may be protected. These should not be seen as infringements of the equality but as enhancement of the equality. Exactly the same thing I told. If we have to provide equality, like women who want to work outside their home other than domestic work, they should be provided special protection when they travel from their homes to their offices. In this way, we can say that they should not be seen as infringements of the equality but as enhancement of the equality. We are trying setting up a platform where equality is provided to certain section of the society or group which have been disadvantaged in some or the other way. Okay, so these were the two examples to understand that. What kinds of differences hinder access to equal opportunities, and what kind of policies may be pursued to overcome those hindrances? So what kind of differences hinder access to what are the hindrance, or what are the obstacles on the way of equal opportunities, and what kind of policies may be pursued to overcome those hindrances? So what are the hindrance on the ways of equal opportunities, and how we can overcome those hindrance or obstacles are the questions that are being discussed in most of our society. So these two questions are the most important questions which are being discussed in the societies nowadays, that what are the ways where we can provide, through which we can provide equal opportunities to each citizen, and how we can overcome those obstacles which are there in the society which stop us from giving equal opportunities to the people. So these are the two questions being raised. Some countries have used policies of affirmative action. So if we see in the at the world level, some countries have been using the policies or the strategies like affirmative actions to enhance, to bring about of equality of opportunities. If they have to provide equality of opportunities, they are using the affirmative actions. And in detail we shall be taking in the next video, that what do we understand by affirmative actions. Already I have told you these are some of the special treatments and privileges given to some part or the some section of the society, and it is required or not required, that also we will be discussing. But if we talk about our country, India, in our country we have relied on the policy of reservation. As you have understood, and we have read in first book also, there is a policy of reservations, where in every sphere, whether there are professional courses, there are schools, colleges, jobs, government jobs, everywhere reservations have been given to certain section of the society which were being left behind or were lagging behind. So some equal opportunities through the policy of reservations have been given to them. So we'll be discussing that also in the next section, that is in the further chapter. We will attempt to understand the idea of affirmative action and understand some of the issues raised by specific policies within the framework. So basically in the next video we'll be trying and understand what do we mean by affirmative actions in relations to equality. So I hope you have understood this topic, and must go through the with the book. It's in the very simple language, you will be able to understand. Till then, thank you.